Hi peeps of the internet, I am the London Gamer and welcome to the State of Anthem. The place to know the happenings of last week on Anthem the game. So without further ado, let's get into it because we have a lot to discuss in this video. We're gonna start by first, bugs and fixes. Anthem got released on the 15th for early access with a lot of screen bugs, with a lot of loading screens, with a lot of problems. And then on the 21st it got a day 1 patch for the game, which fixed a lot of the loading screen and that sort of general bugs in the game and that kind of stuff, but it didn't fix everything in the game, right? We still have few loading screens. We still have quick play absolutely broken, where quests don't advance. You just get into a quest and you just get stuck infinitely. The community have issued kind of a solution to this problem when you get to this kind of states and then you just try to die. So when the actual game respawns you, you will have like a new state of the actual mission, and the mission will get unstuck on quick play. But we still have that. We have a hotfix on Thursday 28 to remove some exploits that were in the game. Those exploits were the one that I remember are killing the tyrant boss on the tyrant mine dungeon repeatedly and then reset it back to the main menu. An exploit where a chest could be reopened multiple times in the Heart of Rage, and those two are the mains that I know of. But this hotfix just fix a lot of like exploits in the game. And then we still have the more egregious bugs that the community can complain every day is. One is health showing up incorrectly in the game randomly, like you have more or less health depending on who are you pair with, which level are you, what kind of quest. Is a very strange bug that happens on and off, but it affects the actual enjoyment of the game to go into higher level difficulties and try to do that content, because you don't know how much health you really have and if everything is working or not. And then we have some inscriptions in masterwork items that are not working at all, they are disabled. And then we have a very bad PS4 bug that completely shuts down the console, and it's been rumored to damage the console, but that's not really what happens. Apparently, as far as I know and I've seen on the Reddit and all those sort of posts, it actually kind of like corrupts the data on your hard drive on the PS4, so you have to like hard boot your PS4 to get it working. So that's like the majority of bugs that are in the game. The second thing that we have to look at last week of Anthem is the loot debacle. We had a hotfix on Friday 22 on the same day of the worldwide launch. I think it was Friday 22. I could be wrong. I think it was on the 23 morning or in the 22 midday, somewhere around that time. We are not clear yet. But for that time, the loot drops were buff, like way beyond what BioWare has planned for 11 hours. And then they went into the game and steadily, like very quietly, reversed those changes. But the problem is like the community noticed that. And they start complaining everywhere, and then why did you nerf it? Because it feels really good, because we have like these wasteful inscriptions in the game, so we need a lot of time with the loot. We want that extra kick so we can go through a lot of masterworks and not worry about the inscriptions till we get like good rolls on the inscription, which is good. And like naturally the higher load rate feel really good for the players. In that instance, even the Diablo 3 devs chime in to some like kind of corrections of what you should do with the loot drop and all that. And like around I think the Tuesday of we have a response from BioWare, and they say they're gonna like fix the inscriptions because that's one of the solutions that the community actually suggested to the developers. So they did that, they fixed the inscriptions, and they say they're gonna remove commons and uncommon drops from the higher level 30 difficulties, so Grandmaster 1, 2, 3, but they haven't done that because apparently it's more difficult. And the community keep this conversation going, and they went into territory that the actual like high-end content the difficulties, they are not rewarded enough and they want more drops to do different activities and that sort of stuff. So BioWare implemented some set drops in certain activities. So for example, if you go to any of the dungeons, the boss will drop you a masterwork ability, and if you do legendary contracts, he will drop you a masterwork component every time. But the feeling of the community is still there that the actual loot economy, drop rate, and that sort of stuff should be like adjusted. So the third big topic of last week was the reception and the reviews about the game. So as you know, we have the official console release, overall release on the 22nd of February, but before that we have an early release on the 15th of February, and unfortunately on that release the game was really bad. A lot of long load screens, a lot of bad optimization, a lot of bugs still. So the reviews took those impressions and put it into the reviews, and it was overall very bad, but with the kind of thing that they always say, that the gameplay core was very solid, but the content of the game was poor. They have too many load screens, too many obstacles to get to that satisfying gameplay, and it was a shame that BioWare released the game in that state. That was the overall view of all the reviews last week. We have a report, like different reports in sales about the game. So we have like #1 UK sales apparently, and then #1 in Japan, but we're not clear with numbers till the end of the month. We will not be certain of how well he did or not. They recently announced that they went gold, so that's a good sign, but that's kind of thing about sales. And unfortunately, in the last week, like by the end of last week, some of the players that I've been talking about are kind of putting down the game because they went like the more hardcore players I'm talking about. They're putting down the game because they don't see any more content, and they don't see anything to chase, and they're moving on to the Division and Destiny and that sort of stuff. So I hope that BioWare delivers on fixing all these issues and all that about soon enough, so they don't lose that many players as it looks like they're gonna lose. What is to come to Anthem? Well, we had the reveal, the roadmap last week, which shows us that we have more items coming. We have the cosmetic chest on the dungeons, hopefully on the strongholds. We have more fixes, but the way the roadmap looks, it looks like March is gonna have like random free play events more than anything, and then till May we will have the cataclysms. In August we have more content drops and that sort of stuff. We haven't seen the Shaper search that was put on there for February, so no idea what is that. We are hearing rumors here and there that they're gonna bring a big patch on the 12th of March. But overall, we have to wait and see. I think the plan, what we feel as the community, that the plan of BioWare is like trying to fix and iron out everything in the game now this month, March, before bringing like swaths of like content and that sort of stuff, which is nice, it's correct, but they should have done this before release so we can have like constant drops of content right now so the game can take momentum. But that's a personal opinion. For me, as a design and developer of games, I think this was like a very poor decision on the behalf of BioWare to drop the game in this state that is now. I should, like, for me, if I was in the shoes, but I don't know, I probably will like wait, do a big open beta, test everything, and then fix everything in that space, and then release the game, and then we can see like the actual content drops coming on more. But that's my opinion, and that's it for this episode of the State of Anthem, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I am the Long Name Gamer. I hope you got informed and have a good time. Please subscribe, like, share, do everything social that supports the community, and we'll see you on the next video, guys. Ciao, ciao.